Thank you, Senator Paul, and thank you for the nominees for being here today. Appreciate it. You know, oftentimes in these hearings, we have a lot of, I would call them drive-by insults and accusations with very little follow-up. And so I think it's important that we give nominees a chance to either explain a prior statement or give an opinion as to how they would proceed if they are in fact confirmed. And I want to start with Mr. Espazito. It was said by the ranking member that in your opening statement that you said that you would work to implement President Trump's agenda or something to that extent. So I actually went back and pulled your opening statement because that concerned me. An Inspector General very much ensures that the agency is working above board and in compliance with laws and ethics, et cetera, and that would be a primary responsibility. So I actually went back and looked at your opening statement, and you did, in fact, commend President Trump for making something clear, that government exists to serve the people, not itself. That is one of the reasons I agreed to come up here and be a senator. I'm one of the newest United States senators, and I believe wholly that people need to have a trust that their government, that D.C., is working in their interest, that it's not working to promote itself or the people within it. And, you know, I sat here shocked as I listened to another colleague say, will you make sure that this government doesn't turn on its own people? And I am thinking to myself, since I've been here as a United States senator, we've discovered under the last administration, we were surveilling United States senators and, in fact, turning agencies, I would submit in many instances unjustifiably so, against people who may not, who may have actually questioned our election integrity. As a people, we should have the right to ask questions. It's our government. It is our government. And so I commend you for saying and reaffirming that government exists to serve the people, not itself. And I saw within your opening statement that you said that you want to put that mission forward, that government exists to serve the people through the work of the Office of Inspector General. And just briefly, because I don't have a lot of time, would you like to comment on that and clarify what might have been accused against you?
I don't believe, first of all, Senator, thank you for the question. And it was one that was also referenced in our first hearing in the Help Committee. And that is, President Trump has a vision to reign in the golden age of the American worker. I don't believe that's partisan. I don't believe creating the fiercest, strongest military is partisan. I think that's all should be American. And that's what I believe in working hard.
As Inspector General, do you believe it is your job to ensure that the people working for that agency are indeed following the ethical guidelines and the law of the United States and certainly the agency?
Absolutely, and it's the same oath that I took when I was a New York City police detective. I take very seriously, as you know, did my grandfather who fought in World War II and my dad who actually fought in Vietnam.
Thank you. And I now want to turn to, along that lines of making sure this government is working for the people. I commend this president, all of the people he's put in place to return this to a nation under a rule of law, indeed, the law of the people. The law of the United States is the people's law. And though we want to create all of these narratives around the United States and what is playing out on TV, what looks like, you know, cesspools of chaos, whether it's Portland or Chicago, as people are coming out and sometimes obstructing or attacking or assaulting federal law enforcement officers that are trying to comply with the people's law, it is as if they're giving the finger to the people's will. I commend the agencies for surging resources to restore law and order and indeed safety in our communities. But law enforcement officers can only do so much. And for our system to work, we have to have good judges that will follow the law and that will not, in some aim to either satisfy some personal bias or to achieve some radical agenda or partisan ends, ignore the law. We have to have judges in order to have security to take what is presented to them and then follow the law, and when appropriate, under the law, impose a sentence for a crime that is committed when there's a conviction. And real quick to our judges, our associate judges that are not nominated, will you commit to following the people's law and making sure that the judicial branch can be respected because you are judges applying the law as the people intended and not subverting the integrity of the judicial institution by implementing your own will? And I'll just go down the line. We'll start with you, with Mr. Trong. I do. And Ms. Suttenberg.
Yes, Senator.
And Mr. Rickard.
Yes, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.